In this video, I'm going to show you the exact system I use to launch and test new ads within Facebook ads. It only uses two campaigns. One of them to scale your winning ads when you find them, and the other for testing every new creative you make in a controlled way. So I'm in Facebook ads right now, and the first thing I'll do is quickly create my two campaigns. One is going to be for scaling your winning ads, and this one is only going to have one ad set. And the other campaign will be for testing new creatives, where you'll be testing your new creatives in a controlled way. So I'll start by creating the testing campaign first. So what you want to do is click create here, click on sales, click on continue. And the first thing you're going to want to do is name your campaign. So I'm going to call this testing, let's say prospecting, and then CBO. It's going to be a prospecting campaign because keep in mind, this is going to be targeting only new customers. I only want to test ads on new customer acquisition because that is what truly grows your store. Next, I'm not gonna have catalog in this, and I'm gonna run this under a CBO budget. Let's say I have a total budget of $500 a day to start, then I would set that at $500. Next, I would just make sure that my audience segment reporting is correctly enabled. So as you can see here, as my engaged audience, I have anyone who has added to the cart in the past 90 days and anyone who has visited my website in the past 30 days. I also see that my existing customers are labeled as my purchasers for the past 180 days. That's my pixel audience. And then my all-time purchaser list, that's my Klaviyo audience. So that's all set up. So make sure you have that too. I'm not gonna declare any special ad categories, and then I'm just gonna click on next. Now, for your testing campaign, what you're gonna do, if you're just launching this for the first time, then you would essentially have a round of first ads, and all of those ads that you are initially trying are just gonna go into the same ad set, and I like to call this batch number 1 in this case. Next is what you're gonna do is select your conversion location. This has to be website only, so make sure that's toggled on. The performance goal is to maximize the number of conversions, so that's all good. Select the pixel or data set that you are using, and then from there, you are going to select a conversion event to optimize for. Make sure that this is set to purchase. Never optimize your campaigns for anything else except for the purchase event. That is the end goal, and that's what you want the campaigns to optimize for. Next, I'm gonna scroll down. I'm not gonna mess with value rules or cost per result goals, so that's all good. Budget and schedule, I don't have to touch this either. We're running under a CBO, not an ABO, so I don't have to fiddle with this, and I just want the campaign to start whenever I publish, so this is all fine. Next is the audience. So the first thing is you want to select the country you are targeting. If you're doing e-com, let's say in the US market, then what you would wanna do is search up the United States. From there, I would select that region and then remove Canada if I want to only target the US market. And from there, my location targeting is all done. And I'm also going to further limit the reach of my ads. I'm doing this because I only want my ads to show to new customers and not anyone who has bought from me before or who has engaged with my brand. Those go in a retargeting or a retention campaign, and it is not going to be the purpose of this prospecting testing campaign. So what I want to do here is go into my custom audiences and make sure that I add the proper exclusions. So what I want to do is make sure that my purchasers don't see my ads. So anyone who has purchased in the past 180 days, I will add that as an exclusion. And also anyone who has purchased all time for me, I also don't want them to see these ads because if they purchased, let's say 360 days ago, that is not a new customer. So I don't want the ads to be shown to that person either. Next, I'm also going to be adding my engaged audiences. So that would be my website visitors and my add to carts. And so now what I have is these 4 exclusions in place. That way my ads are only shown to people who are not part of these groups right here. That way my ads are only shown to people who are brand new customers, which is what I want this campaign to do. So that's all set up now. I'm not gonna fiddle with detailed targeting or app installs or languages either, so we're all good there. As for ad transparency, I don't have to select this. And for placements, I'm going to leave this fully open. I usually think that e-com ads run better and have a lower CPM when you leave this with Advantage Plus turned on. So I'm not gonna touch that either. And then as far as ads go, I'm not gonna show you the exact setup for each ad. You just essentially have to name each, select the page, and then upload your creative. I'm just gonna show you the structure here. And what I like to do is start with, let's say 5 to 10 ads to start if this were a brand new campaign. So what I would do is essentially have my ad 1 right there, duplicate it, let's say 4 more times, and then I would essentially have my ad 2 right here, my ad 3, my ad 4, and my ad number 5. And then I would essentially preview to publish and click on publish. So now I have my testing prospecting campaign 100% built. The next thing I want to do now is build my scaling campaign. And this is going to be just one ad set where all of my winning ads are going to go into that single ad set. So to make this easy, what I can do is I can just duplicate this campaign. So I can click on duplicate like this, click duplicate. And I'm going to rename this to call it scaling prospecting It's going to remain as a prospecting campaign because we're still going to target new customers here. And it's also going to be under a CBO, and delete the copy part right there. Scroll down. As far as budgets go, now that's up to you. It depends on how many winners you find. If you find, let's say in the first round of testing, just one winning ad, you probably shouldn't run that at the same amount of budget. But let's say you have 10 winning ads, then you're probably more comfortable spending more money. So just gauge how well your ad account is currently doing under how much spend. And then from there, you should have a pretty good idea of how much you should be spending on your scaling campaign. But for now, let's say I'm spending $500 on my prospecting campaign and that's working quite well. I would probably start this campaign at around $500 as well to push double the amount of spend into my winning ads. So I'm gonna leave that at 500. And then when it comes to audience segment reporting, I just wanna make sure that this is all good, which it is, and click on my ad set now. For my ad set, the only thing I'm going to change here is going to be my naming, and this is going to be my winning ads. From there, I just wanna make sure that my conversion location is good. So that's on the website. We're maximizing the number of conversions. My data set is accurate and we're optimizing for purchase. So that's all good there. I don't wanna touch my budget or scheduling. And then as for audiences, I'm going to leave this the exact same because I want my scaling campaign to be focused on acquiring new customers. And so I do want to have all of these exclusions in place. So I'm not going to touch that either. The only thing that is going to change in this campaign is the ads that are in here. Unlike my testing campaign, I'm not going to have ads 1 through 5 because at the start, I don't necessarily know that all 5 of these ads are going to be winning ads. So the way you should start a scaling campaign is to essentially delete all of these and have no ads and have this campaign paused. And you only turn it on once you find your first winning ad. So let's say I was just starting out, I would essentially publish this campaign with 0 ads inside of it. That way it's just essentially an empty ad set. So now what I have is I have a prospecting campaign with my first batch of ads, and then I have a scaling campaign with my winning ads, which is currently empty because I haven't found any winning ads yet. So now our initial structure is in place. Here's how you test new ads. But before we do that, if you like this video so far, feel free to give me a like and a subscribe below. That way you're updated on all my newest videos to come. Okay, so now let's say that I've been running my ads for about a week and I know a few things by now. The first thing I know is that ad number 3 is my winner. I also know that my average CPA, so my average cost per purchase, is $50. And then I also have a brand new batch of ads that I want to test. I'm going to show you how you should approach this scenario. So let's say ad 3 is my winning ad. What I would essentially do is I would find my ad 3. I would essentially take this, then I would click on copy right there. Then I would go into my scaling campaign, click on it, and then click on the ad set winning ads. And I would essentially click on this drop down right there, click on paste, preview to publish, and then click on publish. And so now what I've done is I have taken my ad 3 from this testing campaign right here, which has performed really well. And I've essentially duplicated it into the scaling campaign and turned the scaling campaign on in order to spend more on that winning ad. That is how you scale Facebook ads. You don't really scale by cutting your losing ads, even though it does help. The majority of scaling is by pushing as much spend as possible into your winners, which is exactly what I'm doing here. A super important note as well is notice how I did not pause the original ad 3 in my testing campaign right there. If an ad is working, do not pause it. So if it's working in your testing campaign, keep it running. If it's ROI positive, you want to keep that ad running. All we're doing here is we're just spending more money into that same ad by putting it into a separate campaign. So that's essentially how you would use your scaling campaign, by implementing your winning ads in order to spend more on them. Now, let's say that on top of finding this winning ad, that you have a new batch of ads that you want to test, and you also know that your current CPA on your testing prospecting campaign is $50. Here's how you should implement your ads. So what you would do is you would essentially go into your campaign where you have essentially your batch 1, and you would essentially duplicate this campaign just once. The next thing is to name this new batch of ads, and I'm going to call this batch number 2. And from there, let's say I have 5 more ads, I would essentially rename my ads. So ad number 6 would go here, ad number 7 would go here, ad number 8 would go here, ad 9, and ad 10. And so we're doing this in a different ad set for one main reason. The first reason is that let's say that batch 1 is actually doing quite well, then I essentially don't want to touch this. If I start adding more ads into this ad set, all it's gonna do is it's going to restart the learning phase on that ad set. It might mess stuff up. It might start spending less money on my ad 3, which is currently winning, and it might start doing things that I don't want it to do. So usually if I want to leave my batch 1 as interrupted as possible, I like to launch all of my new ads always in a brand new ad set. That way it starts from scratch scratch in a separate place. So that's why essentially I set it up in a separate ad set. Now, the one problem you will probably run into is the fact that this campaign is running under a CBO. Now, you want to be running under a CBO, not an ABO, for two main reasons. If you're running on an ABO, you're essentially forcing a certain amount of ad spend to be spent on ads that are not necessarily working well for you. And then the second problem with CBO is that you are preventing your winning ads from spending as much money as they can. So let's say this was an ABO and my ad 3 was a winner, but let's say my $500 was split as a $250 right here and as a $250 right here. As a CBO, Facebook will naturally push more spend into this ad right here. But if you're capping half of that spend to go into this batch right here, then you're preventing half the spend to go into this ad, which is clearly working for you, which is a problem. So that's why you want to be using a CBO. Now, the one problem you run into under a CBO is often when you launch a new ad set that these ads will not spend. And that's usually because you have certain winning ads in this ad set, which are working well. And all Facebook is doing is it's continuing to spend more and more and more money on those ads, as opposed to testing new ads that have not proven a result yet. So instead of switching to an ABO, here's the trick. What you want to do is in this ad set right here, you want to scroll down and find your ad spending limits right here. And what I want to do right here is click this pencil and set a minimum ad spend limit on this ad set. And I like to set this to my CPA. So let's say my CPA or my cost per purchase is currently $50. I'd essentially use a dollar value and I would set an average daily minimum spend of $50. And what I would do next is I would essentially publish this, leave it on for a week. And then after a week, I would go back in here, remove the tick box and republish it. That way the CBO can once again freely spend. And this is a great way to test new ads because you are still running under a CBO, and out of the $500 a day, I'm still allowing Facebook to spend $450 into these winning ads right here if it thinks it's ideal to do so. But at the same time, I'm still forcing Facebook to put about 10% in this case of the money into testing my new ads. That way I can find more winners. So it's a good way to find that balance in leveraging the CBO to spend the most amount possible on your winning ads while still having a bit of budget being spent on testing new creative. And so you would essentially then publish this, leave it for a week, and then just remove this to have the CBO free from that point onwards. And then from there, every time you launch a new ad set, it's the same rinse and repeat process. So let's say 2 weeks later, I had a batch 3. I would essentially duplicate this, click on duplicate. I would then rename this batch 3, and then this is where my ads 11 through 15 would go. I'm not going to rename them to make this video a little bit faster now. And then I would go to my ad spending limits. I would set essentially a minimum or maximum spend. I would use a dollar value and again, set a $50 minimum spend on that brand new ad set, let it run for a week and then untick this. And so you would essentially have a testing campaign where you have more and more and more batches over time, which are under a CBO testing environment. That way, even though it's a testing campaign, it's still allocating the majority of your spend to the winning ads, making this testing campaign as profitable as possible. And from there, every time you find new winners, it's the exact same process as what I did in the first part. So let's say in my batch 2 after a week that I find out that ad number 8 is also a winner. I would essentially take this ad, I would then click on copy. I would go back to my scaling campaign right here, click on my campaign, click on my ad set. I would then essentially click on paste right there and then click on publish. And so now I would be left with 2 different campaigns where one of them is my testing campaign. And then since I found 2 winners, I would also have a scaling campaign, which still has just 1 ad set. And that ad set has my ad number 8 and my ad number 3 because those are my winning ads. And so that's how the structure works. You essentially have 2 different campaigns, one that systematically tests ads in a very controlled way, and then the other one where you just essentially duplicate your winning ads in order to spend more money on those winning ads. Keep in mind under this strategy as well, not all of your ads will be winners. You will have ads which will not work out for you. So let's say that ad number 4 in my original ad set did not work out. What I would want to do in that case is just pause it. If an ad is not working for you and it's not working in your favor and it's losing you money, just cut it and just focus the majority of your testing spend on the ads that are working. And so there you have it. Hopefully now you have a clear and easy way for you to test new ads within your Facebook ad account. If you have any questions about anything I just did there, just feel free to drop that in the comments below and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. And if you'd like someone to set up a similar structure inside your Facebook account or just simply manage your ads for you, feel free to book a call using the link in the description below. That way me and you can have a chat. Apart from that, I hope you like this video and I'll see you on the next one.